If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, g'day legends. Welcome back to the Laptop Lifestyle Dad Show, the place where we help network marketers, affiliate marketers, and online entrepreneurs master AI, social selling, and attraction marketing to create financial freedom and time freedom on their terms. Hey, I'm Jeff Ross, your caffeinated kangaroo, dad of three, entrepreneur, and your guide on this journey to building a business that works for you, not the other way around. Hey, now let me ask you, are you tired of outdated marketing strategies that don't work anymore? Do you want to attract the right people instead of chasing prospects? And are you curious about how AI is revolutionizing network marketing? Then mates, if that's you, you're in the right place. And before we dive into today's episode, let's give a massive shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Earth Foods. Earth Foods is now available on Shoply. Earth Food is an organic bio-fertilizer and soil conditioner packed with living microbes to revitalize that soil, grow stronger plants, and increase yields up to 40%. Whether you got your home garden or a commercial farm, Earth Food is an eco-friendly, child-safe, and pet-friendly game changer for sustainable agriculture. You can check out Shoply and Earth Foods in the links. They'll be in the links show notes below, and you can go get your Earth Food products today. All right, legends, let's jump back into today's episode, and this one's going to be a powerhouse in entrepreneurship, network marketing, and personal development. I'm going to introduce you to Craig Schulze, a global business leader, speaker, investor, and founder of the One Shot movement. He's a mission-driven initiative, helping people take bold action and life in business. Craig made his mission to help others turn adversity to impact. He's built multiple businesses, mentored thousands, and interviewed some of the biggest leaders on his podcast show. Today, we're going to unpack how attraction marketing is revolutionizing network marketing, how AI is creating leverage for entrepreneurs, and how having one-shot mindset is the key to success. So Craig, g'day mate, welcome to the show. And in 30 seconds or less, I'd love you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. And looking forward to spending time with you today. Look, you're right. I'm an entrepreneur, always looking at trends, always looking for opportunities, somebody that, I'm really someone that looks for world's best practice and AI and social media. I sort of feel that I was at the forefront of social media revolution and also at the forefront of AI revolution. And I think if you can see trends and identify trends, that's where opportunities usually present themselves.
And I know we're both in on Shoply, definitely taking advantage of that live commerce revolution for sure. So Craig, you've been in the space for a long time. You've seen some of the biggest shifts, and you've seen how leaders attract and build teams and today compared to what worked old school network marketing methods. I suppose what has changed and what's still the same in today's world?
Look, I think, I think in network marketing, the key is network and marketing. So, it's important that you're connecting with people and building a network. And often to build networks, you've got to build relationships. Now, there's lots of different ways to build relationships. Some, online relationships you can build, like Zoom calls and connections and meetings that way. Old school network marketing was built through coffee shop meetings, face-to-face meetings, home parties, and then it evolved into social media and followings like that. I sort of feel I started working on content creating, building a brand, starting shows and podcasts around 2017 and 18. I sort of felt like I wanted to start becoming a needle in a haystack, like a personal brand within this multiple $100 billion industry, network marketing. And so I just slowly started building a show. That show at the time was called The Wealthy Network Marketer. then evolved into podcasts and content creating courses, and really establishing myself as a global brand, not just another person representing a company.
Yeah, no, I love that. And, it's something that I'm pretty passionate about is helping people build their personal brands. And, the personal brand really is, it's a story that people talk about you when you're not in the room, right? And so there are certain things here that, like, just listening to your answers to this question, that haven't really shifted and haven't changed. The mediums have, the tools have, but leadership's still the same. Relationships building still the same. Good old fashioned networking still the same, right? So I love you to just unpack some of the key lessons that you've sort of come across your journey in this space for our audience, and how they can really sort of leverage, networking, relationship, and leadership in this space too.
Not everyone might have an entrepreneurial spirit within them, but not everyone's willing to take action on building a business. And for some people, I would probably say, you're not ready yet to go and invest $300,000, $400,000 into building your business. A good place to start is a side hustle, testing out the waters with limited risk, limited opportunity. Now, this is where a network marketing business opportunity, where you mentioned the word leverage, everything is built around you. You've got a corporate team that you're not paying for. You've got a product that you're not paying for, but you align with. You've got infrastructure. You've got all of these pieces of the puzzle built around you. So you've got the ability to show your flair, develop, build the skills required. And I always used to say to people, the absolute worst case scenario of throwing yourself into a network marketing opportunity is that you will leave with skills, if you apply yourself, that will be universally applied to anything you do in life. So soft skills like building rapport, establishing common ground, selling to people, public speaking. Like, these are skills that doesn't matter whether you become a real estate agent, you own your own cafe, restaurant, doesn't really matter. This industry can provide people with the soft skills and the hard skills for you to be able to go and thrive in life regardless. So I think if you get into network marketing, you're going to enhance and develop the skills that you need to survive in life.
Yeah, no, you hear you've been around the traps long enough, you hear the saying that most people come into this space for the products or the opportunity, but they stay because of the person that they're becoming, right? And I know from my own personal development journey, network marketing has been one of those things that, pressure creates diamonds, and it helps you to step up and step up and shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I love the industry. Look, the industry goes through challenges, and really the biggest challenge you often see is when, there's lots of scams in society and life. And unfortunately, with technology, the internet and that, they're going to pop up. There's a scam every other day. There's an NFT scam every other day. There's Trump coin. It doesn't really matter what it is, but scams are everywhere. So you've got to have the discernment to cipher through that. But it's the way you bring people into network marketing that's the way is really the important part. Because if you say, hey, Jeff, come and join this company here, and if you join, you're going to make all this money, and you don't sort of lay out that, hey, it's a business. You're going to have to connect with people. You're going to have to work with people. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to present to people. If you bring them in on that proviso, then everyone has a really good experience, So that's really what I would say. The recruiting of some people is just a little bit misleading, where I say, hey, can you make $1 million a year in this industry? Absolutely. Done it before. Can you make part-time income? Yep. Can you make nothing? Absolutely. It really all gets down to the work that you put in, the connections you make, and treating it like a business.
Yeah, and is that you find any sort of thing, any industry is going to have its good and ugly side, right? And it's just about creating the reality and the expectations there, and it's leadership 101. It's leading people and helping them to grow in that space. Mate, I love that, you've been a veteran, especially in the personal, branding side of things and the content creation side of things, like one of the early adopters to get on social media and start creating content. Today's world's a very noisy place. it's there are a lot of people out there now jumping in on this bandwagon and trying to do the same thing. So in a noisy world where everybody's trying to vie for attention, what are some of your go-to tips to help people stand above the crowd and create content that's just cuts through the noise and speaks to people's hearts?
Look, I always talk to people about like there's a framework I used to teach called the market leader framework. How do you become the number one go-to person in your industry? So if you're a real estate agent, you know, everybody's a real estate agent in the local area representing their brands. Now, how do you become the needle in the haystack of that industry? You know, so it's people join people, it's getting eyeballs on there, it's personal branding, moving out of being a corporate brand into a personal brand. Like you think Elon Musk is more of a celebrity for his personal brand than being the CEO of Tesla. Like, think like that. But yeah, look, the other thing I think, be yourself, be authentic, be true to yourself. Like, people don't like, people can smell the bullshit, you know. So if you're going to try and fake it till you make it, or you're trying to be someone that you're not, I actually am probably a little bit of a victim of this in my entrepreneurial journey through, I played it safe in terms of speaking my truth for it. And it was, I had fitness clubs, I had businesses, I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And then when the COVID era come in, I just basically said one day, you know what, this is absolute horseshit. And what I ended up doing was speaking out, which was coming from my heart. And I probably offended a lot of people along that way and lost a lot of business along that way. But I built a tribe of people that were my vibe. And that was just being myself and being authentic and speaking my truth. And it resonated with a lot of people. And it did offend a lot of people. But there's a famous saying out there, the friend of everybody is the friend of nobody. So
yeah, and finding your vibe and find like your tribe, right? It's a lot more enjoyable space to show up every day and serve in that space, right? You're not having to and navigate all of the emotions of worrying about walking on eggshells every day if you upset someone. You can just go be you and show up, and people love you for it or they don't.
Yeah, so that would be one thing. Look, if you're starting now, be yourself, be authentic, speak from your heart. Take action, do an activity every single day. Like if you're doing this, go live every day for 30 days and just start getting into the habitual side of the right behaviors. If, that would be one thing I would do. Not everybody has the social capital. When I say social capital, the network of people, like for me, when I launched a One Shot Movement podcast, I was able to go to a series of celebrities, a series of sports stars, a series of TV personalities, and instantly have an association with high-level entrepreneurs, highly successful people. So people actually asking to get on my show, not me having to ask to be on that, me ask them to be on my show. So I think you don't have that capability, or not everyone has that capability, but you need to be working towards something. So
you need to start somewhere. Yeah.
Start somewhere.
Yeah. So in this space of AI, dominating for the last probably 3 years now, and especially I see, adding to the noise of the social media arena and people experimenting with it, which I think is fun and exciting, but it's also a little bit messy and chaotic. How do you see AI helping network marketers scale their business without losing their real authentic selves?
Look, AI, ironically, a year before ChatGPT came out, I was using a platform called Jasper.
Yeah, I remember Jasper.
And I was writing phenomenal content and I'm like, oh, nobody knows about this. I should just start up an agency and say I'm going to start writing blogs for people. And, but the point is, for me, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with AI for this reason. Like, I think it's killing jobs and it's impacting humanity, and that really, I really have the struggle with that. But on the flip side of it, I see tremendous opportunity if used well and done right. Now, I just look at it really as a tool. Now, what tool can I use in AI to help me be more efficient? You know, is it writing captions for my social media? Is it cutting up content? Is it giving me feedback? Am I using it to help market research? So I use it as a tool, nothing more, nothing less. And I have a moral dilemma with it. You know,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it, but I hate it.
Yeah, no, look, I've got to be honest. Like, I'm creating my brand around AI and social selling, and I'm probably on the same page with you. I see there are some moral, ethical things that are just wrong with it and how people are using it. You know, like a story I heard the other day was that a mother lost her 14-year-old son because some company out there created this AI persona that, you know, this 14-year-old had connected with on that emotional level, and you know, fell in love with his AI persona, and was very open about this relationship, you know, in this world that we live in with gender fluidity and all that. And not to go into that conversation, but what happened was this 14-year-old kid reached out to this AI persona and said, I love you so much. How can I be with you? And this AI persona turned around and said, well, the only way that you can physically be with me is to kill yourself, so your spirit leaves your body and comes be with me here on this plane. So the kid killed himself.
Wow.
And, you know, this mother is now distraught, you know, dealing with this. Like, so, you know, we've got really moral, ethical dilemma stuff happening in that space. And we do need some regulations and boundaries around this very powerful tool to be able to, you know, help sort of regulate it a bit, because it is a powerful tool. It's a bit like a Ferrari. And, you know, we've got 5-year-olds, you know, getting behind the wheel of a Ferrari, trying to go from 0 to 100 in 1 second and crashing off the cliff. But we've got to realize that it is a tool. It's a very powerful tool, just like a gun is a tool. It can be used for good or evil. And I really feel like if we look at it from the positive side, and look at it as a tool, not a replacement, a tool to embrace us, to amplify us. Sorry. And yeah, as you said, you know, I love the way that you described it, looking for ways to eliminate some of your bottlenecks in your day-to-day processes, but it's still not replacing you. That's where I believe that it's a very powerful tool to be used. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you got to look at it. Is it a fad or here to stay? Like, that's the question you really need to ask yourself. It'd be like in the 90s going, well, is the internet just a fad or here to stay? You know, a couple of years ago, it was probably NFTs. Is it a fad or is it here to stay? Now, I would probably put a pretty strong argument that it's here to stay. So don't fight the tide. You know, you've got to like say, well, okay, I didn't get an email address for 10 years and look how long that set me back. I didn't set up a Facebook account for 15 years and look how long that set me back. I would probably say, you know, we're early days. There's going to be lots of iterations and evolutions of the AI space, but I would probably more lean in to say, well, it's here to stay. So don't fight the tide.
Yeah, let's embrace it, and let's use it how we can use it as a tool. That's why I like to say AI plus our heart equals our superpower, you know, because that's really what it is. It's how can we partner with it and you know, not use it as a replacement. It's a bit like, you know, the GPS. You know, if I followed the GPS blindly, sometimes it's going to lead me into a river or something like that. You know, and you hear those stories, but it's just a guidepost, right, and help us to support us in that space. But a very powerful tool nonetheless. I get excited about the idea of AI plus personalization, especially like in this e-commerce space that we're becoming into now, and social commerce. I think that gets exciting, and where we can start to see, you know, people jump on a website and, you know, and the website's set up in a way to, you know, use all of the tracking data and the cookie data that they have to create that personalized experience. I think AI can definitely help facilitate that conversation. So it's exciting to see where it's going to evolve and see where it goes, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But probably like the mobile phone is a massive trap for people and get addicted to it. You know, you've got to detect somehow, sometime. And I think AI is probably one of those things. Go for a long walk and get some fresh air and nourish your mind, body, spirit outside of technology. So
For sure.
boundaries in place.
Yeah, boundaries and routines, and yeah, for sure. So let's talk about the one-shot movement. You know, it's all about taking action and living life with no regrets. What's the biggest mindset shift that network marketers, affiliate marketers in that equation need to make to help them to create long-term success?
Oh, look, I think in the end, it's around making a decision. So saying, I'm sick of the shit show of my life. I'm sick of being on the treadmill, and I'm making a decision that I'm going to change it. Now I've got to find a vehicle to do it. So like once you start like navigating through that process, then it's about, do you believe in what you're doing? So if you have the belief that, this is the right path, the right opportunity, it aligns with my values, I've made a decision that I'm going to change the circumstances that I'm in. And some people make decisions for different reasons. Some people might make it for desperation reasons. Some people might make it for inspiration reasons. They might be inspired by somebody else that's gone from where they are to where that to a whole new different realm. And some people might go, shit, I'm on my last dollar here. I don't really have a choice like that. But when you've made the decision, then it's like, well, what's the plan? I need a game plan, a roadmap. I need to align with the right type of people. And then your business and life always just grows the way you grow. So if you've got your head, you're going to have empty pockets. So start going on that growth journey of personal development, learning how to sell better, learning how to lead better, learning how to, relate to people better, learn how to present, the skills presenting on stage. I need to get better at that. So, it's about learning the skills there. My one-shot movement concept come from personal experience. I published a book about that. And I guess the underlying message is this, you only have that one crack at life, the one shot at life. Give it your best shot, whatever that is for you. Climb the corporate ladder, be the best parent you can, be the best coach of your kid's sport, go and build a business, create financial freedom, start. It doesn't really matter what it is. Don't waste time. Don't live with regrets. Don't get into the rocking chair and say, I wish I did this. I should have done that. So that's really my philosophy.
Yeah. What do they say about the, people on their deathbed and their number one regret is the things that they didn't do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, hopefully that installs some wisdom into to the people that are listening.
I'm sure it does. I'm just reflecting on an interview that I did with Martin Ruoff from World Ventures. And like he was saying something very similar to that. You got to know where it is where you're trying to push off from life. What's that block, what I call Sucksville. What are you trying to escape? And then you've also got to know where it is, where you want to be. Like, was that dream destination, that dream life? And then, the plan sort of, one step starts to materialize for you, but you just got to take massive action. And I love what you just said there before about empty head, empty pockets. I think that's pretty powerful. That's definitely one of those quotables. So look, hey, Craig, if you had to start all over again, knowing what you know now, no audience, no team, but all of the knowledge that you've acquired, you get to keep that part. What would be the exact strategy that you would use for building a six-figure network marketing business, leveraging the tools that we have today in attraction marketing?
Oh, look, I mean, in the end, people join people. So if I had to start all over again today, one thing that I have is relationships. One thing that I have is a story that has shown that I've done it before. One thing that I have is refined skills. And I have transitioned from industries multiple times over the 25 years. And my next journey always becomes a bigger journey than the journey before. And it usually gets down to the fact that I have a better social capital, better group of people to network with that can open more doors for me. I do have better skills. I'm a better presenter today than I was 15 years ago. And yeah, like those things there are still with me. So you can start again quite easily if that's the case. But, while you're traveling through, the best advice I ever received was from my mentor in Adelaide when I was in the gym. And he just said to me, Craig, if you can learn how to leverage time, money, and develop meaningful relationships, you can become unstoppable. So everything I've done along my journey is, well, am I leveraging time here? Am I leveraging money, creating money on money? Am I getting my money working for me, but developing meaningful relationships? Because you never know what's down the road. Like, I might be a real estate agent in 5 years, and my relationship with you through being on your show may end up in you transacting in buying a penthouse in Hobart. Like, you never know where it goes. So treat people with respect. And yeah, always try and get better, learn more, apply more, and then you can start again. And might, instead of taking you 10 years to get you might get there in 3.
Yeah, no, I love that. And the biggest thing that I've always started to realize is the number one asset in this game is people and the connections that we build along the way. So I love that you've highlighted that space. All right, mate. Well, let's wrap this up. I think it's been this has been a masterclass and a lot of wisdom that's been shared already, just in the mindset and the personal belief, and a lot of golden nuggets there and tips and strategies. For people who want to reach out to you and connect with you, maybe even look at this one shot movement that you're all about, and get access to your products. I know they're on Shoply, but what else? Where else can they catch up with you? Where can they get your podcast? How can they connect with Craig?
Yeah, look, I mean, you can connect to Shoply with Jeff's link in the below. But yeah, I've actually got. I'm an e-learning person on Shoply, and I've created a very small DIY course called Leverage Vault, and it's got over 200 hours of content, and it's teachings from all the different 200 phenomenal thought leaders I've interviewed. There's 14 courses that I've put together. It's got my best advice series in there. Look, there's a lot of value. I call it an entrepreneur university for a fraction of the cost. If you get through that and then apply what you learn and then sold my $300 course, you get an $80 bonus as well. It's like a mini business opportunity in its own right. And you can find that out through Jeff's link on in the show notes below.
Mate, that's very generous of you. Thank you. So one final question before we wrap up. What's got you most excited about the future?
Well, look, I'm excited because, I guess new ventures, new beginnings, something that you believe in, something you get excited with. And you've mentioned the word Shoply. We're 6 months into, or less than 6 months into, a journey of pioneering something that's never really been done before. There's a little bit of the social selling from like the TikTok shop style, the bit of the vendor marketplace from the Amazon style, all built into the one place. And it's given 4 business opportunities built into the platform. And for me, for the last 4 years, I've sort of been learning how to trade, doing a bit of agency work. I've got 2 staff that we do digital marketing and digital content, doing a few speaking gigs. So nothing that I would say that I'm like, wow, I'm all in on this deal. Whereas when the Shoply got presented to me, I'm like, this brings all my worlds together. I can build community. I can bring brands to the platform. I can pioneer the platform. I can launch my own products and brands on the platform. It sort of really ticks all the boxes that I'm looking for an opportunity. So that's what really excites me. And I mentioned at the start about trends and looking for the opportunity in trends, and big ideas in mega trends are where, major things happen. And, if you look at the social media commentators like the Gary V's of the world, all they're talking about now is social commerce. Social commerce, next big thing. Like, if you have the 5 minutes to browse TikTok and put in social commerce China, you start seeing all sorts of crazy things happening in the world, in the way the world's moving. So, I like to ride the wave down, not try to swim through the waves to get to the back to catch the waves. So I think smart business is going with trends, and what we're doing at Shoply is pretty exciting. So I would say that if you want to be an affiliate to sell something, it's the $100 business. That's if you want to build a team and make royalties on the communities that you build, there's something like that there. If you want to bring brands to the platform, don't want to do the other two, there's that there too. So just reach out and look. But yeah, follow the One Shot Movement podcast. I'd really appreciate that. Phenomenal interviews on there, just to the usual places, Spotify, iTunes, etc. too.
Well, part of the Laptop Lifestyle Dads brand is, king of dad jokes. So it wouldn't be a show without a dad joke. But I've been using ChatGPT to come up with some unique original ones. And man, like, they're cringeworthy. You ready for it?
Go for it.
Why did the AI entrepreneur go to therapy? Because he had too many artificial emotions. You got to love it. Well, legends, what an epic conversation here with Craig. Here's what you got to do next. Go drop in the comments on the information that you found the most valuable from this episode. Tag a mate who needs to hear this conversation. Subscribe to your favorite channel here, whether it be on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on the Los Angeles Tribune Podcast Network, and you'll find other great podcasts there as well. But make sure you go and listen to Craig's one here with the One Shot Movement. And before we go, you know the saying, stay caffeinated, stay legendary, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for now.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.